I should introduce myself and do self-promo. I can't do that. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes my booty itch. Let's move forward.
We are the weirdos, mister.
Today is a fun little react. I think it would be a good time to watch dating advice from Trisha Paytas and Tana Mongeau. Now, my toxic trait is that when a woman is beautiful, I can forgive a lot of things, or maybe not forgive them. Let me rephrase. Overlook. And Trisha Paytas is so freaking pretty. It's hard for me to it's hard for me to be a hater. It really is.
You're really pretty.
Tana she's still hot, but the work is not for me. And that's okay because everything isn't for everybody. Don't ask why I did the cross. I don't know what's going on here. Now, here's the thing. This react is going to include me eating dinner because I haven't eaten since. I don't know. The thing is, I can see getting dating advice from Trisha because Trisha is married and has had public failed relationships. And I know that Tana has had public failed relationships, but I don't know that I can take dating advice from somebody who married Jake Paul.
We got married for attention.
So here we go. Wait. I almost choked and died, but also I forgot to do the playback speed. Okay, we're good. Let us begin.
2 of his ex's name, I would think that's a hot red flag.
What's the oldest you dated? What's the biggest age gap you've dated?
And she's been saying this name in her sleep.
Hello?
I love that Trisha insists on wearing these sparkly dresses. I like that they're matching. The set is hella cute. Enjoying the palm trees, the hearts, the color scheme. I do think it's cute that it's called Not Love Line because that also harkens back to Trisha dealing with that fraud of a doctor, Dr. Drew.
Dr. Drew could lose his license to practice medicine for diagnosing Britney Spears with a brain disorder.
I'm sorry. Am I supposed to not call him a fraud?
Celebrity rehab goes against pretty much everything that any medical professional would do for someone who was in a serious state of addiction.
I'm just saying that, if I had addiction problems or whatever, he is not the person I would want handling it because I would want to live. Ooh.
And the amount of them that have passed away since. We've got China Doll, Mindy McCready, Kaniki, Joey Kumar, Rodney King.
Ooh, that was meaner than I had intended. Am I sorry? I feel like no, I'm not.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Welcome to the Tana and Trish podcast.
Holy okay, sorry for swearing immediately, but
Right
we
away.
did it.
We did it.
We did it. Welcome to Not Love Line, guys.
Not Love Line because we are not experts.
Yes, we are not experts.
We're not pretending to be, but
Yeah, we should probably just say all of that. Hey, at least for me, don't take any of my advice.
For sure.
At all.
We're not Dr. Drew.
Here's the thing about Trisha is she's always reminded me of a Persian cat. And maybe that's why I just can't get over it. She's so pretty like them cats. Every time I see her, I'm just she looks like that gorgeous ass cat that just looks you the fuck down. You're like, okay, cat, first of all, slay. But second, mind your business. I can't believe this. Another reason I wanted to do this is because allegedly Trisha has canceled the podcast with Jeffree Star. I don't know if it's already filmed and she's just not releasing it.
You want to do something fun? You want to go to Taco Bell?
I can't go to Taco Bell. I'm on an all-carb diet. God, Karen, you are so stupid.
But listen, I'm proud of you. Don't do it. She saw the response that Tana got, which was everybody was like, we hate him. We do not like him. And remember, I said it. I was like, nobody wants Jeffree Star around. We're good. He moved because nobody wants to collab with him. The whole point in all of them living there is for shit like this. Look at me doing my finger. I'm professional.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But
Completely.
I feel like we have the experience. You know what I mean? The real life
100%.
Gen Z millennial experience. You know what I mean?
And we have been through a lot of I do feel like our takes on things are different than the average person.
I think so too. I think you give real takes. Okay, so I was super excited. I literally voice memoed Tana 2 days after this went to cancel live, and they did a segment at the end called Hotline. And I always I just think it's so boring in general when people do that, right? When you talk to the crowd, oh my god, it's so boring.
Also, can we just congratulate Trisha? She was on SNL.
Hey, my galactic bastards. My ass is so hard for today's episode. Our guest is friend of the pod, the iconic Trisha Paytas.
A dream that she thought she would never have. And And also, I think she's gonna be on Broadway, bitch. Like, her dreams are coming true. I need to get more delulu about my life. I really do. In my delusions, by my birthday, I won't have to work for the post office anymore. And somehow, even though I don't want content creation to be my full-time job, I don't have the body to do anything else.
But when I saw you guys do it, Tana was just so quick and funny, and I was just like staring at her like I had no advice to give because I was just so in awe of how good and funny and fast you were.
You are so sweet.
So I was like, let me take advantage of this because we've been talking about it for so long, and we didn't want to do something like Just Trish or canceled. And I was like, wait, I had like this epiphany, and I was just like, oh, and you guys know I love Dr. Drew, and I'm old, so I remember Love Line.
Here she goes. Here she goes.
What did you compare it to? Or you compared it to something? It was like a newer.
What does she mean she's old? Ziggy, how old is Trisha Paytas?
Trisha Paytas is 36 years old.
Bitch. I'm trying to math and I think it's 8 years. The way my brain was just like struggling to figure out like, how old are you, Audra? You are not old. Stop it. Continue.
Gen Z.
I'm trying to think
what
what
did
I
you compare it to? Oh, Girl Code.
Oh,
yes. And I was
giving Girl Code.
No, but I like Googled and I was like, what's Girl Code? So like that's like not my generation, but
at the end of the day though, I do just think like this is such a fun and unique topic for us, and it's not going to take away from our shows, and I'm excited even just hearing
I don't think it's fun or like I think it's fun. I don't think it's unique. There's like tons of people who do this. No hate to them. Like I'm not being an ass like normal. I'm just saying a lot of people do this. Love advice or whatever. I think I did one a long time ago. I don't remember. And I at one point had that weird series where I talked about like dates I went on and like the weird escapades that I had, like the one with the coconut oil.
a little bit of the voice memos that everyone has been sending in.
Over like 1,700.
That's
people
so
called.
crazy. And like just in the future being able to give people topics and like just talking to our fans too. We don't get to do that enough on like our shows. And like I'm so excited to give horrible advice. I'm hoping at least
your advice is good. Your advice is real. I like it.
I'm gonna give advice from my perspective, and just so are you. And I just think that's like I'm so excited for the future of this show, and it's gonna be so fun and easy.
I can't wait. I'm so excited too. I love like 90s shows. It was very like singled out, like those kind of shows I like miss, and I was just like the fun vibe.
Singled Out, yes, Singled Out, which gave us Jenny McCarthy.
Hi, Carrie, and I'm Zach. If you give me a chance to mac, I guarantee you it won't be whack. Yeah!
Who to this day I still cannot stand. I hated her on Singled Out. She was the worst part of the show for me, to be honest. The worst part. It was like all of her mouth open shit. She had her mouth open a lot, and I just didn't like that like thing that she always did, which is like, and I'm like, please leave.
The cute vibe, like again, like no drama, just like fun. I do feel too like, you know, I've gone through so many men, women, people, and I'm like, oh, I finally like kind of figured out how to have like normal relationships. So this show is relationship, dating, love. But then we're gonna have our Patreon, which I secured that name already, patreon.com/notloveline.
Yes! God, she's doing everything. I'm serious. She's
Go girl, get the business. I'm proud. I'm proud of her. Trisha has been on her business bullshit lately, and it's so good. Like, you know, I'm proud of her. I just need my Delulu to work as good. I'm just not being Delulu enough, I think. I need to be more Delulu.
Out for not
I took over a little bit because I know you're really busy, and I was just like, okay, let me just like get a set. And like,
you also have the vision. Like if I had to build this set, it'd be so
I picked out that.
I'm telling you the truth. Like Canceled is just a couch in my like so dirty upstairs.
But like, it's relatable.
This is just.
She's not wrong. The set for Canceled is actually awful, and I don't need people to be relatable, and I want people to stop doing that. Sometimes I just want you to be unrelatable. I don't need you to relate to me. I'm here to like disappear from the reality, and I like it when you're so far beyond what I could ever do that I can't in any concept think that I could ever have that life.
So everything is so beautiful. Only girls and gays working on the team.
Oh,
like,
you should see earlier we had like maybe like 10 people in here, and they were just like hyping it up so much. Everyone was so
screaming
excited.
Girls, like, and it was amazing.
It was amazing. It was really fun, and hopefully we'll manifest. I don't know. We're saying like it's like late night talk show vibes. You know, that's like where it's at.
Yeah. See, and I love that about you. Even I am manifesting like big things from this. I think it's so good too when you give you and me almost like a topic to stay on.
Yes.
And like we.
Why does Tana? Every time I pause it, I feel like Tana looks like she's up to something. It's probably because she is. But we're gonna move past this like welcome to Not Loveline thing. They're gonna talk about, it looks like, age gaps, mainly because I don't need to watch the two of them glaze each other. I can do that. Do what I want.
I know. It feels like I'm like living like my like dream when I was like in the 90s, and like I hear these phone calls. I'm like, oh my God, I want to answer questions too.
Thank you for wanting to do it with me.
Thank you for doing it.
I will never. It'll be 10 years from now, and I will like remember. I was like next to Mongeau, and I played that voice memo, and like it felt like everything happens for a reason. I like got up screaming. He was still asleep, and I had to like go in the other room and like scream and freak out.
Oh my God, that's so cool. That makes me so happy. I'm glad we did it. And 2 weeks later, here we are. Literally.
But that's all you, girl. This would have taken me a year. All you.
All right, first phone call. Do you just
Our
play it?
first
I don't even know how
caller.
this works.
And
Okay.
thank you to everyone who called, I guess.
Crazy, yeah.
We'll say the
thank
phone
you.
number at the end, or should we say it now?
Oh yeah, we put it on the screen.
Yes.
Call this number.
Wait. Oh my God, I can't breathe. I can call them? Bitch. Every part of my body is so excited. Oh, I can't breathe. Oh my God, you can call. You can call. I think you leave them. Oh my God. Oh. Okay.
Call this number for all of your love, sex, dating, and life advice from Tana and Trisha.
Tana, we should record a little voice. Do we have a voice greeting thing on it?
I think it's him.
Oh,
The
you are
voice
him.
greeting is him right now, but we should make it to where when they call the
Yeah,
house.
like, hi, this is Trish.
We'll get there.
This is Tana.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let's just get straight to it. My best friend, she's 21, she's been dating this 46-year-old man since last January. And this was when she was 20, mind you. She met him at work as a server at a restaurant. Basically, a month into their relationship, I had no idea they had been dating. I only knew that she was like sleeping with him. I'm like, all right, whatever. But she ended up ghosting me and everyone else in her life, her whole family, her brother, who she lived with at.
That's because she got to take care of her dad. I'm sorry. I'm going to finish the question. I'm going to answer it because of who I am as a person. I'm an interrupter and I will often be first. And then I'm going to see what they say if it's anything near what I would say.
Come to find out, this man only had a roommate at the age of 45, and his full-time job is serving, so there's no money to be made off of it. Nothing special about him. And then
I know he has no headboard.
I basically made her delete all of her contacts, block all of our numbers.
I almost died. Not Tana being like, I know he has no headboard. Girl, she's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with being a server. There's nothing wrong with having whatever job you have. But the problem is, why are you a grown man with a roommate and a 20-year-old girlfriend? That's all.
And then all of her social medias, and then officially change her number. So at this point, she was living with him.
Ugh.
She finally told me that she had been seeing him since January, and that he has gotten her drunk, told her she's a horrible person, spit on her. So mind you, he has a record and has done time in jail.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, this just keeps getting worse.
Also cute. Basically her age.
He's a fire truck. And I'm sorry, fire trucks don't deserve that, but it's just that they're all red.
Oh, he has a kid.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Because already there's like so many ebbs and flows to the story.
That's so sad too, that it's like her friend calling in like for her.
How do we get our friend back? How do we get her out of this?
And
How do we let
it's
her go?
so sad because it's like obviously like we've all been with the narcissistic guy who's like trying to isolate you and make you block everyone. And it seems like her friend is in that.
The thing is, you don't get your friend back. You don't. You can't tell them. We've been there. Because you can. Obviously, you can tell them. And they're always, not always, but they are often going to treat you like you are jealous because you ain't got nobody and you're just mad that they're finally with somebody, blah, 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 blah. You have to like softly, be like softly like, girl. I know some of you didn't understand that, but there's a certain demographic of people that understood that.
Situation. And it's like you just want to shake. I wish I could go back to 21-year-old me and be like, these older men.
What's the oldest you dated? What's the biggest age gap you've dated?
When I was 20, in my early 20s, I definitely had moments with people who were in their like close to their 40s.
Yikes.
And then I'm trying to think if I've ever hooked.
Like, yikes, for real. I personally just found that even the consensual age gap, there's something that I notice. Because like when people talk about power dynamics, they often want to throw this idea that it's just like money. And it's age too, because somebody who's older than you very consistently uses their age against you. Like they've lived life, they're older. Like I do that. Everybody, the older they are, you just like, oh, just wait until this and like blah, blah. And so when you're in a romantic relationship, I think that tends to make it worse in a lot of ways, because even if you're on the same kind of financial footing, which you kind of really shouldn't be at this point, because like that's awkward. It's a little weird. Why? Especially if you're a white man. Like, you already started ahead. Why are you broke? You had all these opportunities. I'm sorry. Don't get mad.
Probably.
But that's good. That's not bad. I mean, but 30s and 20s is like if they're close to 40 and you're in your young 20s.
But I think an oldie that I wanted never just like came my way because like had like, you know what I mean? Like even back in the Hugh Hefner days when that was cool.
Would you?
Did she say an oldie I wanted never came my way? And also Hugh Hefner was not getting consent. He had quaaludes.
But with you,
Like,
Hefner?
I think if I was 21 and there was like a 70-year-old man, but he was like iconic and hot, I would have done it.
With something to offer, but this guy has nothing to offer.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's mean to say. She's like, oh, he's like has nothing to offer. But I mean, I guess he has like a place for her to live. That's something to offer.
Yeah, but 45 with a roommate and like it's like, girl, at least just
the roommate thing is
date
like a
your
little
age almost. Like at least have like a hottie that you can like maybe manipulate better.
They can't manipulate them. That's why they go for those young ones.
Yeah, which is that's the thing, and it's like through a lot of that, no one can tell me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like just like everyone can be like, this guy is so much older than you. Like it's clear this is bad, and I'm like, nobody is different.
Yeah, or they think they're mature for their age. Like I'm mature for my age. That's why I only dated people in their 50s when I was in my 20s, and I always thought like I'm just mature, and like that's that. But it's like, yeah.
Listen, I don't want to bring this back. I'm sorry. But he keeps making his like really creepy way into like everything I talk about. But her Jason Nash era is like one where
Stop talking.
if you could wipe something from the internet.
Good luck covering your mouth. Watch. Peace and quiet. You hear that?
That's the thing I would have wiped from the internet. If they were like, Audrey, you can wipe one thing from the internet, I would have been like, keep up my Pornhub, erase Jason Nash.
So basically, you're an idiot.
It's perfect for, yeah, exactly. That's why I like it.
Oh, that was just so embarrassing. Like, I could not figure out why they were together at all.
Unlike you, I'm a successful working comedian.
Trisha was just always in like my peripheral of things. And I would see this and I was like, that's the man she's crying? Oh, girl.
But
It's like, girl, you're just traumatized.
You're
got
just
daddy issues.
traumatized, and
Yeah.
I feel like you just save yourself so much time if you just know. Like if someone would tell me like, don't ever date someone in their 50s when you're in your 20s because they're just using you for something or another, I would have saved me so much time because I like wasted my 20s basically.
Well, I think everything happens for a reason, and you are absolutely slaying. That makes me so sad to hear because I just think everything you did in your 20s was so iconic. But,
Definitely wasn't.
But I mean, to me, but that is just like, I'm trying to put this into words. It's like if a guy is 50 and has to date a 21-year-old,
Yes.
what is wrong with his emotional development that he has to date down so much? And it's like, I feel like I learned a lot of that.
Is anybody? Did Tana just grow up for a second? I feel okay. Let's continue. Like it's like a zing, like a zzz. Like she's out here saying like the real shit. Girl, okay, all right.
That too. It's like you almost think like I'm gonna date older because they're wiser and smarter.
No.
The amount of 50-year-old men stuck in an 18-year-old man's body with the navy blue fitted sheet, no headboard or goals or aspirations is nuts.
I know.
Like,
I see that with like.
She is correct. If there's one thing I'm gonna say about Tana is she's very good in her podcast. I do think that the canceled podcast could do well without Brooke. And I know that I called her Brick accidentally last time. I didn't do it on purpose. I wasn't trying to be funny. Anyways, I don't think Brooke is a good co-host for Tana. Tana needs like energy bouncing off of her. And Brooke, whom I'm not gonna call Brick again, I don't know. She just doesn't have any energy. It just like it kind of feels like a piece of furniture while Tana's doing her thing. And I feel like this energy here between the two, it's synergy.
These guys that get older and older and they still date younger and younger, especially like influencers, like people who are dating like, 20-year-olds are still dating 20-year-olds, but they're like aging, and it's like, that's disgusting.
So tell me, man, how's this year's crop of freshman chicks looking?
Maturing is realizing that Matthew McConaughey's character in Dazed and Confused is creepy and gross.
That's what I love about these high school girls, man. I get older.
They stay the same age. And I know people would be like, why didn't you know that back then? Because, God, first of all, I was young. That's the point. And you kind of felt it at the time. You were like,
What, you're gonna end up in jail sometime really soon, I know that. Fact.
But it was Matthew McConaughey. He was hot. Then you get older and you start to recognize how gross it really was. Where you're like, ugh. Brother, ugh. Because he's just gonna keep showing up to the high school. Also, Alicia Silverstone and her stepbrother and Clueless.
Oh my god. I love Josh.
I don't care.
I am majorly,
I don't care.
totally,
Disgusting.
but crazy
Disgusting.
in love with Josh.
I don't care. I know there's always somebody out there who goes, they weren't related by blood. That is not the point. I've said this multiple times over the years, and I'm not going to stop saying it. I'm not sure why white people are obsessed with weird stepbrother, stepsister relationships, but it's everywhere. Flowers in the Attic, Star Wars. There's others, but I can't think of them right now because I just worked a long day.
Young girls, I guess they just, I don't know. I get the infatuation, but.
And what does that say about his self-esteem? Like those men's self-esteem, if they're like, I'm so dumb and emotionally immature that I have to date someone 30 years less. Like, you know what I mean?
They're insecure. Yeah, they're super insecure. People their own age. That's like, if you can't match with someone your own age or something like wrong with you. If you're like mentally there with a 20-year-old, I'll never understand it. It's like that. I don't know. Like, I don't. You know who's a big. Well, anyways.
I feel like I know what you were going to say, but that's so funny.
I want Trisha to finish her thoughts. Trisha, it's me, Audra, a person you don't know or care about on the internet. Also, I'm brown. The thing is, finish your thoughts because I think a lot of your thoughts are fun and fired. Like, I'm not saying go this way, but like, go like right here. I wanted to know. Okay.
I was like, let's not.
Wait, yeah. Oh my God. See, and here we are getting controversial.
I know, it wasn't even like a controversial. I guess it's fine. Like, it's not even like anything controversial. He's very open about it. But like, Dave Portnoy dates like always younger girls, and I think Brianna just straight up asked him and was like, "Why are you always dating young girls?" And he's like, "Oh, those are just the people I meet." And it's like, okay.
That's Dave Portnoy. I've literally never seen the man. I have only heard about him. You mean to tell me that's Dave Portnoy? Not hot. I would not smash. And I know that somebody's going to go for X amount of dollars. No, I think I would rather keep my mouth closed. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's not hot. Why does he look like that?
Okay, that's not why. Like, there's like a reason. And maybe, and I actually don't blame Dave Portnoy because he doesn't want to be committed. He doesn't want to have children. So it's like, he wants to have fun.
And that's the mistake. Listen, I don't care if he's worth $100 million in 2019. That's one spot where my morals will not flex. I don't even think he likes black people, so it's fine. But like, I couldn't imagine. But here's what he's fucking up. Listen, man I've never heard of, and hopefully you don't try to take down my video like you're notoriously known for doing. That's why you don't need to be fucking around with them young girls, because you're worth a lot of money and you don't want to have children. Slay. Me neither. No. But some of these youngins, and next thing you know, you trapped.
Like, they seem to catch feelings and maybe like want to get married.
And hope they can change him and stuff like that. And you just have to know. 21 is also just crazy. Like, you're going to turn 25 and your frontal lobe is going to just snap and you're going to be like, wait.
Well, I mean, it doesn't snap. The concept is that typically by 26, it should all, but it's not like that for everybody. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Well, you're 26 now?
Yeah.
And don't you think you like changed so much in even like 3 years? Like, you at 23 versus now?
Genuinely, and it's been studied. I think here I am saying facts that I don't know about, but like your frontal lobe actually fully develops when you're 25. And for me, it was genuinely like a light switch.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't give a fuck about any of that. Like, all of those things. I would date older. I would do so many things where I wasn't respecting myself fully and like whatever. And
Ziggy, how old was Tana Mongeau when she married Jake Paul?
After only dating for a few short months, Tana, 21, and Jake, 23, hosted an over-the-top wedding in July 2019.
Holy crackers, Batman. That seems like a long time ago. So that makes sense. Okay, I will give her that. Yes, your frontal lobe developed. I feel like people come to my videos now to see what questions I'm going to ask him. Ask my little robot.
Woke up and a light switch flipped. And I was like, wait.
Yeah.
I have to change everything. What am I doing?
And it does. The 25 is the age. That's why I've always said, like, 25, date a 6-year-old if you want. I mean, whatever. But below that, I think the guys just know the manipulation of it all.
And it's hard to tell someone when they're 21, like, hey, this all means nothing. You need to have fun, because at the time you feel like it's the end of the world and everything.
The thing is, it doesn't matter if you tell them. We've all been young. We've all been told things. And what did we do? The exact opposite of what we were told, a lot of us. Not everybody. Some of y'all were smarter, but we just do what the fuck we want. And then we realized later that we should have listened to that person who was talking to us. It's the conversation we just keep having, like, women and femmes generationally over and over and over and over again with young women who will literally look you in the face and be like, he's not taking advantage of me. I know what I'm doing. I'm really mature. Blah, 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 blah. You're just mad because you're old and you're wrinkled and no one wants to fuck you. And then they get older and then they recognize what's happened. They recognize the type of relationship that they were in. And then what do? They try to pass that knowledge down to a girl who's gonna go, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just mad that you're old. And the cycle repeats. I don't know why we can't win this battle, but we just can't.
It means so much, but like, you will look back and be like, that meant nothing.
Yeah, and it's such a blip. Unless you find like the love of your life, like your high school sweetheart, and you're gonna like marry that person, it's like different, but all the other stuff, don't waste your time too much on it.
Yeah.
Let's see her question.
The high school sweetheart people blow my mind.
Because he got kicked out of his last apartment for punching his roommate.
For hunting?
He was paying the rent in full by herself, bought all the furniture, and bought him a dog. He basically has made her quit her previous job in order to stay away from other guys too. And since then, she's not been like allowed.
Bitch, you gotta go. You gotta go, G-O, get the fuck out of this relationship, because that man is gonna start, if he hasn't already, he's going to abuse the crap out of you. If you are a grown-ass man, you're like, I don't want you to work anywhere where there's men there. Like, please get help. Honestly, that's just whack. Also, I really like the font of the letters.
To have another job if there's another guy working there, and it's a whole year-long lease. Anyways, she barely keeps in contact with me and her parents at this point, and she's only allowed to hang out with me for like a few hours at a time, and absolutely no overnight. So I try to tell her, like, open her eyes. You got a therapist. Her therapist is trying to tell her. Her parents too, but nothing seems to work. So what do you think I should do? Like, what would you do? Is this the kind of situation that she needs to handle?
You should kidnap her, allegedly. If it's legal in your, you know what? If it's legal for them to send kids to them weird, awful camps where you try to scare them straight, then it should be legal to kidnap your friends from bad relationships, specifically, where she can't like just escape. I know. Listen, and you just deprogram her. I feel like that's not going to be the answer that they give.
Handle it like herself and find out like that.
This is sad.
It's sad.
It's a really sad one. I just want to say to her, she's a great friend, and it's hard to be the friend. I've been in both, where I'm doing that to all my friends, and it's sad, but it's also very hard to like watch your friend. It's clear he's just like trying to isolate her, like narcissistically isolate her so hard, and it's
interesting that you say this because I was just watching the Do We Know Them podcast. Brooke, not Brick, Brooke is dating a man who allegedly
Miles McFly. Well, his real name is Miles Cantor, but he goes by Miles McFly on all social media. And the reason he does is because he's actually a Nepo baby.
I don't pay attention to the details like that. Who cares? Allegedly dated Sophia Richie's friend sister thing. This is like 8th hand news. Who was underage? I like how whenever I'm not sure of the details, I just whisper. I'm like, and it's like, as if whispering in a mic is somehow going to make it so you can't hear me.
Wait a second. You're telling me that he has adopted McFly as his like persona, but his dad didn't write the movie, didn't direct the movie, wasn't in the movie. A producer of the movie?
I need you to understand that would make my coochie dry up. Just fold back in on it, like all the way in. You know what I mean? It just like... But I caught the thread. The kidnapping thing, while it sounds wild, there was a movie, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was about a woman who was experiencing DV.
So I think I'm gonna have to leave early.
When did he become more important to you than us?
And you see it in all these little maneuvers and motions that she does.
Yeah, it just came up. Just came up.
You don't know if he's actually physically hurting her at this point, like whatnot, but her friends finally managed to get her to go on a trip with them, which she kind of lies to him about so that she can go. And it's...
Remember this thing I talked about? That sales thing? Turns out now they do need me to go.
Why?
I came up, I guess.
On this trip with her friends, without this awful man there to make her second guess herself, to make her scared.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you!
We just really want you to relax.
Relax in what way?
It's during that trip that she recognizes what she has been enduring and begins to understand that she is in an abusive relationship. And with the love and help of her friends, escapes that relationship in a beautiful scene at the end where her friends are seeing her get in this car with this man.
Alice, I know you're very emotional.
To leave, and they're like, you just started coming back to yourself, etc., because he shows back up and tries to like take her home.
Like, I came out here because I was worried.
She said no.
And they rescue her, and she gets out of this relationship.
Give it a week.
When I'm saying that, I'm not saying that to be like, haha, funny. Like, no, but in all seriousness, yes, snatch your friends up. Sometimes that's what it takes. They have to like get out of it to see it. You don't see a lot of times that you are in an abusive relationship and or how abusive it actually is until you are out of it and you are amongst people who truly love you and care about you and bring you back to yourself.
Yeah.
sad.
This is why I love you, because I've only been the person that's like with the older man and like just like I don't care, give a fuck about my friends. So I like that about you, because I honestly was just like, I was that girl, and I feel like she just like ultimately has to learn about it. And like I've been that girl, and it's like I just think it's like the guy's gonna do something so cold to her, and she's just gonna be like so sad about it and so depressed. I think the best thing you do as like a friend is like still be there after she's like gone through this like cycle. But from my experience, no, it hasn't worked out. Like friends don't stay around for me, but
well, I will always stay around for you. I love you.
Hopefully I don't have that happen. But
Well, Trisha, those people weren't your friends. I don't say that lightly. I'm just saying those people weren't your friends. Anybody who just like walks away from you, they're not actually your friends. And sometimes people just can't handle it as well. Sometimes they are your friends. They just genuinely can't handle watching you walk down this path. So there's also that.
No, this one is like, yeah, it's very sad, because it's like, yeah, as a friend, just, I mean, stick around and just know that she is a victim of emotional abuse right now. And like, that's really sad. It is. And just to all the girls out there watching, if you are ever in a situation where you are not allowed to do something by a man, that he's not your, you know what I mean? He's not, even if he is paying your bills, even if he is whatever the like.
It's not just me. Tana's in her bag. I'm sorry. Tana is in her bag.
Someone who really loves you will not disallow you to do things you love, and will be secure enough to do what you love. You know what I mean? And it's like, I dated people who were like, didn't want me to have a podcast or OF or even just stuff like that.
Oh
like,
my God, what did you do?
It depended on just who I was with.
Did you stop? Were you ever like, okay, I'll stop?
Yeah, I was dating a guy, and he was like, if you make an OF, like, I'm breaking up with you. And we were deep. And I said, see ya, which is crazy.
Wow.
Like, looking back. And then he came back years later, and he was like, you were so smart. You were ahead of the wave. And I was like, yeah.
Wow.
And that's the thing I will say about people engaged in the work of sex. Taking it back to life after porn. Men way too often, and I worked at Spearmint Rhino, not as a dancer because I could never, not because I would be upset with doing the work, but because I could never do all of that. Like, I am not graceful like that. I could not wear the heels. Baby, I would just, you know, if you want to dance of somebody just doing like a little shimmy, then I'm your girl. But otherwise, you're not going to get me to leap up around that pole, because I will fall, and it will be embarrassing for everyone, but mostly me. But the fantasies are fantasies for a reason. And like, especially when I would talk to the dancers, and they would go into that, like how they don't really like date clients and all of that kind of stuff, because they're like, they just think that like I'm going to get off work and dance for them. And I'm like, yeah, you were just doing that at work. It's ridiculous. So Tana is actually completely correct. Dump a man who wants you to stop doing things that you enjoy.
I've always put my life on hold for everybody. I've always been like, all my early 20s, it's like, you never saw me anywhere. I was just like waiting for a guy to call me.
Well, it's hard because you think that's love. You really do.
Yeah.
You're like, they just want the best for me. They just, even like, he's so jealous because he loves me so much that I can't, you know, work this job and be around other guys.
He's so jealous. He doesn't like other women but me. Baby, he doesn't like you either. I just need you as a survivor of he doesn't like any other women but me. He doesn't like you either. I promise you that. He doesn't like you.
Guys, but like someone who really loves you would want you to have your dream job and be around a million guys and be proud and secure that you are theirs. And I hope she gets out of it, and I hope she will find it, and I hope that geriatric loser gets. It's funny because it's like, it's not geriatric at all if he was a good guy, but he's not.
Geriatric.
He's geriatric because he's a freak. So
correct.
Let's see what else we've got.
Yes. Next question. So sorry, that is awful. You have to like let her have her own path.
Yes. And you are a great friend, and
yeah,
I have faith that you guys will come back together.
I mean, that guy was like the ultimate loser. Just kept getting worse and worse. He's like, he punched his roommate. He has no furniture. He has this. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Girls are really blinded.
And it's like these men live with mommy issues for.
And it's not just that girls are blinded. It's that we are conditioned from a very young age to believe that a romantic relationship is the pinnacle of your life. And so you put up with things that you shouldn't put up with because you are told regularly that having a romantic relationship is the pinnacle of your life. It's not.
Probably wants her 21-year-old fresh out of the womb to literally be his like mommy.
Yeah, that's what's like, messed up about it. It's like they want this like young girl to take care of them. It's like so weird. I always think guys do that too. They're like, can you cook? Can you do this? And I was like trying to cook at like 20. I was like, you're 50.
Do I literally change your diaper? Like, what's up? Oh my God. And that's only worth it if he's like nice and you're in your bag, I think.
Yeah. You have to be in the bag for that one. Should we listen to more?
How many red flags is too many red flags? Love y'all.
Wow.
One is too many. Don't overlook him. Like one. You don't need to keep counting. The first one where you're like, ooh, go. It's time for you to go. Because that's only going to lead to more and more and more and more red flags. It's not going to just stop at the one. As soon as you get the one, you're like, okay, I'm done. I'm finished. I'm good. Thank you. I dated a man who yelled at Alexa. like violently, would call her a stupid bitch. And I was just like, if you're gonna yell at like a lady AI, I have no idea how you're gonna treat me. And I'm just like, cool if we don't see each other again. We're gonna move past it. My dating history is awful. It's awful. Awful.
That was good. Short and sweet.
That my ADHD ate that one up.
I love it. Honestly, I do love a red flag. I'm not gonna lie. It's like there's something exciting about red flags. I have a song called Red Flags, actually, not to promote my own music. But
Do it. Stream it now. Not kidding. Not kidding. Malibu needs a Bentley, babe. Not kidding.
I'm sorry, I do love Trisha's like terrible music. Because it's so fun. It's so fun. It's such a good time.
It's a pink Christmas this year.
These are the types that we need. Like that is the dream. That is the dream. Voice memo, seriously.
That was great. I love that. How many red flags are too many?
Because I get what you're saying. They're hot red flags. You know?
Yeah.
No.
Well, okay. I don't know what what's a hot red. Like my hot red flag was that previous call where I was like, oh, he wants me all to himself, but like that's not obviously a hot red flag. What's a hot one that's like
if a
tolerable?
guy had a tattoo of his ex's name, I would think that's a hot red flag.
Hot red flags are in romance novels, fantasy romance, where the alpha of the pack growls at you, goes, mine. That's a hot red flag. When you are grabbed and pushed against the wall, again, romance novel, and he takes you from behind, bites into your neck and claims you as his. I'm so sorry. That's the red flag. That's hot because it's fake.
So I'd be like, you were so into it and passionate. It couldn't be his only tattoo, but if it was one of his tattoos and he had like Samantha on his arm, I'd be like, ooh, you were so passionate. You're in love with me. You did it. Like me next, you know, like, ooh.
No, you can tattoo someone's name on your body. I'm like, what the wrong with you? That's a weird red. That's the biggest red flag. I think absolutely not. What?
Oh my
Ew,
God.
no. Like, who is Stacy? You know, like.
Yeah.
Who was Stacy?
And then you date that person and you just see Stacy over and over. Like, it'd be so weird. But
I'd make him cover it up probably as I got serious.
Yeah.
My ex one time got my name tattooed on him and he posted it, and then 2 weeks later we fought and he covered it up with a bullet and he posted dodged a bullet.
That's clever.
But how cruel.
But it's like.
He might not have been wrong, though. I'm sorry, Tana. He might not have been wrong.
Artistic.
Yeah, it is. It was.
I kind of love that.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like how many red flags are too many? I feel like 3. If there's more than 3, like everyone has red flags, right? But it's like sometimes they're not. You know, sometimes you can work past them. Sometimes they're not real. Sometimes they're like, you know, a little orangey. Like you don't know if it's red or not. You know?
I agree. And I think that everyone has their like fatal flaw, right? Like all your best friends, all the people that you love.
Flaws aren't red flags, ladies. Red flags are things that let you know that this relationship will not last. Okay? Like the Alexa thing where I was like, you know what? I've gotten out of way too many abusive relationships to stay dating you. Because like you're screaming at Alexa. That was enough for me to recognize like we should not keep dating. This is fine. I'm not going to get into another one of these. This is how I view a red flag. Or these are things that are going to be like dangerous to you, dangerous to your financial situation, dangerous to your job. A lot of people try to confuse red flags with flaws. Flaws are one thing, everybody's got them, but red flags are things that are detrimental to you. These things are like absolutely, like you said, non-negotiable. These are things that you cannot deal with. Like I'm a private person, so like if I were to be dating somebody, I don't want to be on your social media. I don't want you to post anything about me on your social media. I don't want you to at me. I don't want you to tag me. Leave me alone. Okay? I don't want that out for everybody in the whole world because I already went through a whole situation with that and I was like, nope. This is none of anybody's business. Can't believe you did that. When I was in the midst of getting divorced, prior to that, we had always said we weren't going to be the people who were on the internet talking about like we're breaking up, especially back then on Facebook, because it's weird. And I hate vague booking with my entire heart. Those people who come on to Facebook and they're like, you think you're together, but you're really just standing alone. We've made the decision. We're getting divorced. It's official. And I'm fine. Like, I don't care. Whatever. It never occurs to me to post it. It does to him though. He does like a whole lengthy post about us getting divorced on Facebook. And I didn't know it. I was at work and then I get a message from a friend who's like, are you okay? And I'm like, okay, from what? So when I found it, because I know him and I knew what he was doing, I just immediately deactivated that Facebook, created a new one, friended the like 5 people that I wanted to friend, and moved on. I never said a word to him. I never had a conversation. And ever since that happened, I was like, no, don't do that. So like, yeah, flaws can be improved. Red flags, no. These are things that are typically going to be dangerous to you as a person in one way or another.
Everyone has that one thing that you wish you could maybe change, but other than that, you love them and you accept it, right? Like, no one's gonna be perfect, you know what I mean? But I think even if you're gonna stay and keep seeing the red flags, at least be mindful. Like, be aware, write it down, think about it.
Okay, you might wanna ride, if you catch my drift, that red flag, but you don't take it home to mom and dad.
That was a red flag and I thought about it, but I pushed it under the rug and I kept it pushing. Like, at least just be aware. And like, your gut is usually right.
Well, did you have any red flags with Makoa?
Ooh. Red flags.
I think that maybe scared you even. You're like, oh my God, this is like a lot.
Not really. I think that literally no, and that's kind of why I went like super head first. He's just way more like chill and like goes with the flow, patient, like calm, easy life. And it was almost a red flag to me because I was scared that my life was too chaotic.
You were the red flag.
Yeah, literally. So
he's like, wait, you talk about your life on the internet? Like, yeah.
Not wrong. Tana is a walking red flag. I don't know who she is personally, but if I were dating, because Pan, and I had the option to have Tana as a person that I could potentially date, immediately no. All I would have to have seen is like the toothbrush video, and I'd be like, I'm good. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, he really doesn't have any red flags. I'm trying to think. Maybe just too chill to a fault sometimes, but like in a good way.
Yeah, that's not bad. I think Moses' red flags were his cats.
Are you not a cat person?
Wait, okay, can I tell you he did not have cats when I first met him? But I remember he took in all the alley cats. He had like hundreds of cats in his alley, and he would take them in. Maybe people think this is endearing. I thought it was a red flag. I was like, wait, why are you taking in all the alley cats? And then one got pregnant, and then he started taking care. And so when Moses' cats became a thing, everyone's like, oh my God, she made him get rid of Moses' cats. When we met, he didn't have cats. But like 2 months into it, all of a sudden he's like, I don't know, what do you call it? Harboring cats? What do you do? Raising cats? I don't know what it is. And,
okay, Peter.
Yeah. And he was giving them. He gave one to like my makeup artist. He was giving them to like I guess adopting them or whatever.
It was kind of a metaphor though. Like, you were like his cute little alley cat.
Oh, okay. Like he's in the streets.
Not in the streets. That's a green flag. I'm sorry. Here's the thing. He's getting them homes. Cat hoarding is sad. Animal hoarding of any form is actually quite sad. But the fact that he was like rescuing them and then like getting them homes, that's cute. That's a green flag to me.
It's definitely Makoa's alley cat. Like, he took me off the streets.
Moses did too. I was in my hardcore OF era when I met Moses. So I was like a trashy little alley cat. Not that alley cats are trashy. They're fine, but.
I need to know who this Mongeau is because I'm a nosy bitch. Who is Tana Mongeau dating? Yeah, who's Mongeau? What the fuck? I'm so sorry. I'm in a bit of a shock because this man is like, he's not a white man. A white man? What the actual? I literally can't breathe. That man, that man with the curly hair. Okay, all right. Call my flabbers officially gasted. Okay. Whew. All right. Okay. Well. Yes.
But she was pregnant a lot. That cat got pregnant, 20 times? That cat was pregnant all the time. Jealous.
That's such a funny red flag.
I don't know what that is. Maybe.
No, but that
it's
is
not
like
a red
just so
flag.
funny that you were like, but I would think twice about it too. Like, you know what I mean?
Man, you know, you're like, wow, you have all these cats.
Are you going to love these cats more than me?
He did. I remember it was Easter. I have to go home and take care of my pregnant cat. I was like, okay. I was like the other woman. It's pretty wild.
Fine, have fun with her.
Yeah, literally.
Have fun with Whiskers.
That's actually really sweet. Like, thank you. My flabbers were really quite gasted because I was expecting another white man. But I guess she was like, not a white refrigerator.
They were all ocean. It was like ocean, river, rain. They were all like water.
Moses, I love you.
Yeah, red flag there. I was like, oh my God, liking water too much. I was like, he was like really anyways, but I don't want to do a whole Moses red flag episode.
How did we get these men that love water like this though?
Does Mongeau love? Oh yeah, he's a surfer. Oh wait.
Oh my God, literally.
Yeah. Men really do. Jonathan Bailey just did a whole thing about loving water. Anyways, we're getting so sidetracked, but I guess water is like
water,
powerful.
and it's calm. It's like, you know,
it's always moving.
Because what do we love? Like city lights.
Literally, yeah.
I just want to say that this is a very good example of two women who have just been in so many toxic relationships that like a man just being calm, rescuing cats. It's like, I don't know, maybe it's a red flag because he's not fucking treating me like garbage.
We'd love smog. We're in the valley now. There won't be any smog here.
God,
you can
oh my
breathe
God.
again. So I would say 3. I think if there's more than 3, you need to chill with the red flags.
I agree. And just be mindful and maybe write down your non-negotiables. You know, like these things I will not tolerate, and like stick to.
A red flag is a non-negotiable. I just want to say that. A red flag is, in fact, a non-negotiable. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Like for me, I don't want to get married again. And you're like, I would like to get married. This is fundamentally not going to work as a relationship. That is a red flag. If you were like, I voted for Trump, that is a red flag. Fundamentally, we're not going to make it together. That's non-negotiable. We're finished. Don't think you're going to trick me because I'm not stupid most of the time.
To that, you'll save yourself a lot there. But I do think people can have manageable red flags. You know?
For sure. Or you learn to love those red flags.
So true.
Maybe I'm getting red flags wrong, but if I'm not, then 3 is good. Okay.
I think you're hitting the nail on the head.
I don't know.
Yes, Miss Dr. Drew. No, you're honestly killing it.
We're bringing Dr. Drew on for an episode. He's gonna be like, you know what? I always try to get a podcast with Dr. Drew. I was like, we should do a podcast. And he comes on Just Trish all the time, but I can never nail him down for this. So I was like, well, whatever. I'm starting not Love Line with Tana. So
he'll come on and it'll be fun. I think.
Yeah, he's so fun. I love Dr.
manifesting.
Drew.
I have no idea. He might want nothing to do with me.
He's so sweet. And he drives so far. He's like 2 hours away and drives. He's so sweet. Yeah.
That is so sweet.
Dr.
Stop.
Drew is
And
like,
he would definitely give better advice. I love how long it takes us to answer one question. No, this is awesome though.
Yeah.
It should take a little bit of time because you're doing an hour-long podcast. Oh, Lord, this sounds fun. Dating advice for someone attracted to dusty men. Bitch, I am excited. I love this because I'm just going to say that most of the time you're not attracted to dusty men. Dusty men just find you and you get used to like dusting them off and trying to like build them up. And your problem is that you actually need, I haven't even heard the question yet, but I'm like, your problem is that you actually just need to find a hobby, knit or something, and you can watch something grow. Don't build a man, girl.
But I
I'm giving like dating advice. I'm like, if he has cats, leave him. Like, this is the worst advice.
It's just 2 dumb telling each other yes.
Ooh, that should have been the podcast. 2 dumb.
Honestly, I was thinking like,
that's cute.
Blondies. No, I love it. I love everything.
Hi, Tana. Hi, Trish.
Hi.
I hope this actually goes through. I would love some dating advice. My past has mostly been homeless men that stabbed me.
What?
Did she say that stabbed me?
She said homeless men that have stabbed her and drugged
I
her.
actually have a lot to say about this already.
Did she literally
should we hear the
say,
rest?
did she really say a homeless man who stabbed her? Girl, you don't need Tana and Trisha. You need like real deep therapy. Cause baby, your sense of self.
The question
if she's getting stabbed 10 seconds in, like I need to know that.
Who stabbed me?
Homeless man who stabbed me.
I was just thinking the unhoused part, but I was like, oh my God, okay, that's, wow, okay.
Drug addicts and drug dealers. So I'm sure you guys know and can like get me on the right direction for a Makoa or a Moses.
Aww.
It would mean the world. Like what flipped in your mind for you? Like I need to get these dusty men off of me, please.
I love you,
I'm obsessed,
Dusty.
and I know it, but I only like literally the worst ones. Help me change my brain. What did you say? I love you guys so much. This is
Help me change my
something
brain.
That would be so cool. Bye.
First of all, I just love her so much. I want to give her a hug.
It's always like the nicest, best girls that just get like roped into these whole men's because they know they're like playing on how sweet they are.
It's like, you know what I think it is, in my opinion? Like dating men like that is, and it took me so long to realize it's like too hard. It's a form of like self-harm.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I like wouldn't come to terms with that for so long. But it's like, if you are stooping down to their level, you are, whether you say it or not, and I fought this so hard. Everyone would be like, you dating him, you're stooping down to his level. And I was like, no, I just like him. He's different. But you inadvertently are.
Yeah.
You are saying, this is what I'm worth. And you don't even realize it. And it might be something that your childhood conditioned you to.
I'm literally getting blown back because I'm just not prepared for Tana to have like all of this insight. Look, girlie is in her bag for real. Like I know I've said this a couple times, but she really is. Like okay, so it's not just me. Damn, Girly Pop is eating with this podcast. She really is. And she's leaving like almost no crumbs. There are a few crumbs, but she's like I feel like she's taught, and I'm like, bleh. Like my pajamas are gonna fly off. I'm in my pajamas.
Like you don't deserve happiness, you don't deserve love, so you're like sabotaging yourself in a way by going with like, because the things she just listed off are obviously those are clear red flags to every single person, you know. So it's almost like you said, you almost just set yourself up for failure because you don't think you're deserving of happiness.
And the I can fix him trope. I call people who date girls who date homeless men or vice versa hobosexuals. Like as in like I'll take you in.
I dated a homosexual. Oh my God. Listen. So here's the thing. This was before we had the term homosexual, okay? So what happened was I was dating a guy. I don't remember his name. It may have been a J name, and that's my fault. Error on my part. I was dating him, and I started to notice that whenever he came by, he always had like an entire fucking backpack. And I was like, this bitch ain't got no place to live. But I didn't say anything because it's not like he could live with me because I was living with roommates. And one of the roommates I live with, I'm not going to get into that because that's an unnecessary story, but he finally ended up saying something. And I was like, first of all, did you think I'm dumb? Because I'm not. But it's really like when you're dating, first of all, even though he could lay pipe,
Many homosexuals.
Yeah, LA is very common.
It's like, oh, yes, my bed, my kitchen, come move in. Like,
because they're not like the people, like the unhoused people on the street. They're people that are on like Tinder and they look like, you know, they're very like put together. Like, you would never know until they don't leave your house and you're just like, oh my God, this person like
I'm in
to
between
work.
spots right now. I'm this, I'm that.
Thank you.
It's a phenomenon. In like 2018 when
He
I
had a
was still
son.
dating, like I remember it was a big thing. People just like wouldn't leave your house. So what did you do?
Oh my
when you
God,
found
that is
out?
crazy.
Were you like...
I mean, I definitely just like let it happen for way too long,
let them
so
stay
many
with you?
times. Yeah, and
For
I would
how
like
long?
have boyfriends that just like lived with me, like
instantly.
I had one was during the pandemic. Like I had like a 7-month relationship with a guy. He technically had a place to live. He just like never went there. And then like his friends lived there. I never really got to the bottom of it.
Did you see his house? You saw it? His
like,
apartment?
but like once or twice, and like maybe it wasn't even
Was
his
it an
house,
Airbnb?
girl. Like, I don't know.
He broke in.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. I mean, it's like pay my electric bill then, babe, right?
Not her being like, I don't know. It could have been like not his house. It wasn't his house. Plot twist. It was not his house.
Yeah, they never offered to chip in. That's what's annoying. Is I only let it happen like for a few days, and I realized I was like, oh no, they're not like getting out. So then I just like call someone and be like, hey, can you say you're like my boyfriend? I'm like, oops, sorry if I tell you I had a boyfriend that was here. Like something like that, you know?
It's like earn your keep at least.
Yeah,
like, that is all just like crazy. And obviously,
sorry,
no,
no.
you go.
Have you ever had a guy be like, because one time I said that, I'm like, can you like chip in? He's like, oh my God, he's so stupid. He's like, oh, I'll chip in with his.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
Like, they really think.
I'm so sorry. But a man without success saying he's going to chip in with his weak ass dick, with his weak ass dick game. I'm like, no, I'm good. Just like actually pay a bill. I'm good. You hear that bzz sound after we're done, right? Okay.
I think that's payment.
Well,
I
100%.
really think it's payment.
And unfortunately, I have been so stigmatized. Paige calls it stuck in sand. Like, where it's like, the dick is so good that it's like, yes, homeless king.
Yeah, it does. There are housed men.
I'm so sorry. Not yes, homeless queen. I need to have the yes, homeless king. I have never been stigmatized like that because first of all, I didn't realize I was asexual at the time, but like I was always like, okay, anyways, get it out. Let me live my life. Please get away from me. Stop breathing on me. And our scents are mingling and I don't like that. Please stop it. It's like, oh, is it good? I was like, oh, it's great. So good. So good.
It's good. But this is more than that. I think that for her specific question, it's like, you've got to just raise your standards immediately and stop hurting yourself. And you will realize that something will go too far and you will get tired of being treated like that. And 100%, it's like, you have to vibrate on that frequency. She knows it. She's like, I'm a hot girl. Go out there and don't accept.
Yeah, and stop getting
I think
stabbed.
like the red flags, you have to pick a struggle because if it's like, okay, he doesn't have a house, he's an addict, which I like sympathize with. Addicts can be like really nice people, but then also a drug dealer. I'm like, okay, you're a dealer and you're unhoused, like then they're dealing out of your house and they're using out of your house. He's what?
He stabbed her too.
Okay, wait, I think a good rule is like if someone stabs you, like don't date them.
Yeah, like
that's crazy. How is she still alive? That's crazy. How did she get stabbed?
One of my favorite things about Trisha is this, when she'll just say something like, what a good rule of thumb. If someone stabs you, you should probably stop dating them. Yes, queen. Yeah, that's the thing. I love being ace because it does prevent you from stigmatizing. Like I did have like that eject situation, but that is because he had like the piercings, the double Prince Albert, and is it called reverse cowgirl? Anyways, I almost hit my head on the floor flying off of that thing, but it was just like a little too much going on. And it did sound wild when he, but it was quite effusive. And again, more information no one needs to know.
But that toxic cycle is probably, that was probably just their worst fight. And like, people really do get into
like that. Girl, I forgot about the stabbing part, so I just think like everything. Like, don't even worry about the other stuff. Just leave. Report it to the police maybe if he stabbed you. That's crazy.
And it's like, you can't fix him. You don't want to. I know that sometimes being with these men, like a drug dealer or something, like I remember a time where I genuinely felt like this is so exciting. Like I'm breaking the rules. Let's go sell these drugs together, baby. Bonnie and Clyde.
Really?
You're not Bonnie and Clyde, babe. You are just two tweakers. You know what? Like that's what you're presenting as by associating yourself with that. And it's just like you deserve better, and you clearly know it. So you got to make that leap.
And again, darling, get a hobby. Next question. My boyfriend and I aren't intimate enough for me.
And it seems like so fun and just like it's happening frequently. I'm 25, my boyfriend is 30, and I feel like we don't have enough, like at least for my standards. But when I try to bring it up to him, he kind of like freaks out on me, and I tell him like I just want to feel like wanted by you and like attractive, but he like just gets offended by it. And then like we eventually have like once, and then I don't know, I feel like I can't even bring it up to him because he's gonna get upset. And I don't even want to try to initiate it because I'm scared to get rejected. Like, that's the worst feeling, getting rejected by your partner, you know?
The worst.
I tried wearing lingerie one day for when he came over and I was making dinner and he didn't even say anything about it. So, I don't know.
I hate lingerie.
I'm so confused. We've been together for a little bit over a year now. And
I hate lingerie. Every ounce of my being. I hate it. It's so uncomfy. It's always cut weird. One of your titties is bigger than the other one, and it's doing some weird flop shit on one side. One side looks slay. The other side is hunchback. One lip is hanging out. Maybe I have the wrong lingerie, but I hate it so much. So first of all, I think that this is when women start getting more amorous, we're gonna say. I think around like the 25 year, we like actually start wanting, like we want to, it's not like obligatory. And I think that a lot of men, by the time they hit 30, they're not as they're not as amorous anymore. They're not really super excited about it. And I will also say that I think that it sucks for men, and y'all know I'm a man-hating ass bitch. I do think that it sucks for men who are not super into making love. Like, can we do that? YouTube? Is that okay? They're not like, it's 10:10. Where you been? Did you get my message? Your expressions is telling me that you've been thinking the same thing I've been thinking. Sometimes they want to just like chill. I think that the idea that all men are like gur 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 gur. All of these are going to be so much fun.
Yep.
But they're not all like into it. They are fed this idea that they must be like jackrabbits on a mission all day, every day. And a lot of men really aren't actually into doing it like that all the time. And I think that you should talk about libido. That should be a part of a conversation when you're dating. Is like, what is your libido like? Like, how often do you need it? Because he might be freaking out because of all the expectations of manliness and male sex drive. And he might also be freaking out because he just doesn't know how to tell you, like, I don't want to do it more than once a week, Sharon. Okay, let's find out.
I do think we were having more in the beginning, but like, he still comes over and sees me every night, and like, I don't understand. So what do I do? Love you guys.
Oh, I have so much to say. Imagine I won't cheat on him, girl. No, kidding. I'm kidding. Don't cheat.
I guess in that case, I don't know. Maybe.
No.
I never condone cheating, but I guess if you're not getting, but I guess you should probably break up. Anyways, they were asking you.
Toxic me would say cheat. But kidding. Okay, this is so layered. There's so many things I have to say to this. It's like, obviously you want to have empathy for him, right? Maybe he could be depressed. Maybe his self-image isn't great. Maybe he doesn't feel confident with how he performs in the bedroom. Some people just have a low sex drive, right? But the way he's responding to you makes me mad. Like I think an open line of communication is so important in a relationship. And God, I'm trying to think about this. Like, if I'm being completely honest, I feel like you have to like sit down and have a serious conversation. Like,
Period.
hey, my needs are not being met. And if he has a temper tantrum, a grown man temper tantrum, be like, then let's talk about this when you can calm down. You know, it's like, and the lingerie stuff like that is awful. You never want to feel like that in your own relationship.
Oh my gosh. Like you put an effort in, like even if like, I don't know, say something, if he's giving you nothing, I think compatibility is a huge thing. I think if you're just not compatible, and a lot of girls deal with the same issue. Like I know so many girls, myself included, for like the longest time when I was dating, it's like, oh my God, is there something wrong with me that I just like want all the time and like the guy didn't or something? I think it's a lot of girls, a lot of the time this happens, but if you're not compatible in that way, because like you said, some guys just have like a low drive, maybe he just doesn't love like that. And then in case it just like, it will not work out no matter how much you love someone.
He's also 30. I know it doesn't seem like it's like a 5-year difference. I know it doesn't seem, but like men around the ages of like 13 to, I'm going to say like 24 to 26, they could fuck a hole in the wall. They could obviously fuck pies. We saw it. And apparently dead bodies. The point is, if the wind blows on it, it's just like they have this whole period of time where they're like that. And I think there is a period of time where young women and femmes are made to feel like they should be feeling like that. So a lot are putting on the act of like, I'm so horny. It's like the difference in between actually having an orgasm, a big O. Is that okay, YouTube? Is that all right? Between actually having it and like faking it. And a lot of us mostly don't realize the difference until we with ourselves, you know what I mean? And then we're like, holy hell, that is a completely different animal, and I don't know what I was doing before. Like, not like it wasn't pleasurable, or it wasn't for most of the time, especially with the coconut oil, but like not like it's not pleasurable. It's just you don't recognize, because like one thing is goodish and another has you getting like leg and feet cramps. You know what I mean? You're like, oh my God. So like kind of once you recognize the real, then you're more critical of like, oh, so like this is just down, like this is down here and I don't like it. So again, he's 30. And I think that he might be tired. Like, definitely have a conversation. But like Violet had said, you know, I don't like surprises. And I'm like, exactly. Like, I would be a little upset if I got home and my partner was like in lingerie. Like, babes, I might be tired. And now like you're wearing lingerie and now I feel really, really pressed to do all this. I've had a long day at work. I'm a little stressed, you know, and I'm a shower babe. Like I have to shower a lot, actually. Showering is my favorite. And I would just be upset if I got home and you were like, surprise, lingerie. And I would be like, oh, you've put on lingerie. You didn't even ask me.
Like, obviously an emotional connection matters, but like the physicality is also like very make or break in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, girl, you deserve, if you want to be thrown around, bent over. Now I'm getting all Patreon over here, so let me not get too Patreon on this one, but you deserve that. And you don't want to, and this is what drives people to cheat or be so unhappy, or you know what I mean? I think that if you try and exhaust, like you love this guy in every other way, and you exhaust all communication for that, and you're still not getting that, you might have to think like, there might be someone out there that I emotionally connect with enough that's also rocking my bones and my holes, right?
It's such a big thing, because when you do connect with like...
Did she say rocking my bones and my holes? Because if she did, I want that on a shirt.
It's like it's such a connection, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't like super like horny after like giving birth, but I was like, I made sure to make that effort because that's how we connected, and our relationship was always so much better. So like there are certain people who are just asexual and don't have sex. I think those people should find each other in life, and then the people who just want to all the time find each other, and then there's like
literally,
you know,
we should have support groups more often for that. Normalize that.
Yeah,
I do think that like lulls are normal. Like I feel like I am always talking about like the moments where Mongeau and I are doing crazy, but there's also weeks where we're both like exhausted or like not super horny or like whatever, and that's normal. Like it's not. You don't need to be going at it like rabbits always, but it's like, this feels like it's something that she's having to bottle up all the time, and you just have to put on that lingerie, and your man comes in and is like
stopping everything to do you. Yeah.
Yes.
I disagree. I will wholeheartedly disagree with, and obviously that's me, right? If you like surprises, I could never, but like if you like surprises, great. But I have found as an adult that the majority of other adults I've talked to who have encountered the surprise lingerie situation, most have not liked it. It's always bad timing for reasons. Like it never seems like when you put the, and I hate to say never, but it's there's something about you deciding that you're gonna lingerie it up, and it just always seems to be bad timing for the other person. I know that people are gonna just be like, stop calling it that. I'm not going to. Lingerie, 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 lingerie. I just think that you should plan for a romantic time in which you where your split lip, half nipple, booty cheek, lingerie. And you know what? The halters never seem to fit your legs, right? Because one leg is shorter than the other.
Over the kitchen table, the dinner, the stir fry.
Yeah, and it's important to you, and then that should be, to me, that's like number one in a relationship. Obviously, emotion, all that stuff like that, but that's a deal breaker for me if it's like not as frequent and stuff like that. And yeah, over time, it's like changes. But
and I've done that. Like I've been in relationships like that where like the sex just didn't connect, and eventually you gotta be like fantasizing all the time about like what could be happening too. I feel like that.
As an ace person who has done the deed, I think one of the worst things about it, and listen, people in the comment section, please let me know if y'all have noticed it. One of the things that definitely turned me off of the whole thing, and I was just like, I don't think I like this. And I know I've said this before, like the smell. It's not just the smell of it. Some people are going to get that reference, some aren't. It's the commingling of the scents and then how your body smells funky after. Do you know what I mean? I hate it.
I could be getting bent over this couch right now, and I'm not. So.
Yeah, and there's somebody who will want to do that for you.
Absolutely.
Over and over. So
I think really try to communicate, and if you find yourself in the same position in a couple months, or he just won't communicate, girl, go on that cunt.
Yeah.
Maybe
leave. Break up. Like you do have to be compatible in that way. Like, I am glad that more people are talking about not being turned on all the time, because I do feel like we just entered this really weird realm of having to be like super hypersexual all of the time. And it's just like, maybe I just don't want to get freaky. But I do think more people need to talk about the fact that we do not need to all be like hypersexual. Like there was this like whole movement of just everything had to be so sexy. Like Spencer's had that whole everything shaped like a dick movement. I never liked it. I was never into it. It's one of the things that I hated the most about bachelorette parties. It wasn't even like everybody getting hammered. It was just like everything being shaped like a dick, the dick straw, the dick cake. It's just a lot. Like why are we doing that? I don't want to drink out of that. And I'm not prudish. I think that especially if you're looking at like the trend of Gen Z moving away from like hypersexuality and all this stuff, I just think that there's a level of it that makes it feel like if you don't feel exactly like this, then you're not normal. And just as I think that straight is not the default that we're born with, I think, we're all a little because if straight was the default, they wouldn't be fighting so hard for it to be the norm. I also think that the idea of having large amounts of sex is false and made up. Not saying that people don't do it. I just think that largely the idea that you should be doing that is what's stressing out a lot of people enjoying their time. Oh, should I be a 22-year-old stepmom? Baby doll, no.
I'm a hydrated girly.
I love it. We have a water tub right there if you ever need one.
And she got custom Loveline waters.
Yeah,
made.
they didn't come for our first episode, but they're on their
way.
way.
So we're taking the Just Trish water right now.
We have 500 coming.
Should we take another voice memo?
Oh yeah, let's do another. Let's do it.
I am in between two guys right now. One of them being my ex, and the other one being a man with a whole kid.
Oh.
I'm 22. He's 25.
Oh.
And
No.
my child's almost 3. So
No.
I don't really know what to do.
No.
I'm kind of thinking of going for neither of them. And
Correct.
Just being single.
Yes.
But I don't know. Is it cool to be a young stepmom?
No.
I don't know. Anyways.
No, and I would also just like to let her know that she answered her own question. You should choose neither man, and you should choose yourself. The end. Let's see what the ladies have to say.
This is helpful. Thank y'all. Bye.
Bye, girl.
Bye.
Why do I think a stepmom era is kind of tea?
Yeah, it's not uncool, I guess.
I would have, like, if Makoa had a kid, I would love that.
Interesting. Why?
Because it's just like almost your responsibility, but like not
quite.
fully. Like you don't have to push it out. Like if the kid gets like E. coli or something, it's like call the mom. I'm sorry.
The E. coli is the thing right now. Yeah, I don't think I have it, but
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with being a stepmom. What I'm saying is at a young age, no, don't do it. You are too young and you're probably still in that like young party fun stage. And all of that disappears once you have to like take on mom responsibilities. I know that there are people who will be like, oh, I still have fun, like da 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 da. And to that I would say, yeah, you probably have babysitters. You probably have people who give a shit about like doing all of that. And if you're not, and you're one of those people who takes your kids to places the kid shouldn't be so that you can have fun, you suck. That's terrible. I don't care. I don't care if you want to judge. It's like, it's terrible. Stop doing that. Stop taking your infants to like the bar. Again, I live in the South, so it might be different for some of y'all, but like stop taking your infants to the bar. They just entered the world 3 months ago. Fucking relax. But if you're torn between the guy with a kid and another, it's not the right call, period. I'm like, you should just not with either.
Stop, that's so crazy. If you had E. coli, I would support you through it though.
Thank you.
I'd be like, my girl has E. coli.
Raise awareness for it.
Do you know what E. coli is?
If the new guy is the one with the kid, and then she has the ex who doesn't have a kid.
He's also 25 with a kid, which is better. Like if you told me he was like 40 with a kid and like a whole wife and marriage. But also red flag, because it's like, where's the mom? Does he care about the mom? Like,
correct.
I think this is like such a polarizing, like hot topic, like issue where it's like people are just like one feels very strongly one way or very strongly the other. I just have like the worst step parent experience in every field. Like,
I hate to be a hater, but a lot of times like a man who's young with a child that he's not actively co-parenting with is just looking for someone else to take on the responsibility of taking care of his child. Okay, done.
Stepdad, stepmom, like just absolutely horrible everything. And they would never let me be with my dad or my mom separate. So I just like have the worst ingrained. I know there's lots of parents.
I didn't know that about you.
Oh yeah, I had a few stepdads and then I have a stepmom. Still like I'm 36, I'm still like traumatized by it. But so I'm very much, I've dated people with kids and it's fine. Like you like those kids. You know they're it's wonderful and it's fun. But in my head I always just think like I should let them have time with their dad. I should let them, you know what I mean? Like I know I didn't want to be that person that like takes their dad away at all.
Yeah,
you know?
you have to understand something like comes before you almost.
Yeah, and some people can like deal with it. I don't know if I was necessarily that person ever.
I didn't think about it like that. I would actually hate that. Like, what do you mean you have to take them to soccer practice?
At least Tana knows herself. She's like, what do you mean you have to do something that's outside of me?
Obviously not fair to the kids.
And at 22, it's like, girl.
Oh, and that's so like if anything had happened with us, like we got divorced, I don't think I truly would never date someone until they were like out of the house because I was just so traumatized by stepmom and stepdad. So me personally, I think it's like you're too young, and it's like you're still with an ex, and it just doesn't seem like you're fully into this guy. So, and you don't want to go in and out of a child's life at that, either.
Yeah,
so,
and that's not anything you should be thinking about at 22, anyways.
Yeah.
Period. Okay, so I like their advice there. I'm not gonna look at the call 7 fiance is saying another girl's name in her sleep, and the reason I'm not is because you can't be getting the fuck mad at people for their dreams. Period. The end. So. We have call 8 marrying for money and not love. Do it. Love doesn't last forever. That's why there's a 7-year itch. I'm such a dick. Like love doesn't last forever because it doesn't. It doesn't. And that's okay. And by that I mean like that like gripping. I want to like rip your clothes off and like like that kind. Because I think a lot of people aren't prepared for a loving relationship to become significantly more platonic in a lot of ways, especially if you have kids. But even if you don't, they're not prepared for that sensation of becoming like your relationship just like not being that like overwhelming, all-consuming, tongue-sucking, titty grabbing, ass slapping, bend you over sensation all the time. And I think people just kind of forget, like that's one of the reasons why you get that itch, because they're looking for that newness again. Because the thing is, it doesn't matter if the person you're with does that. You've already had it from them. That's the thing. You kind of know the ebb and flow of it. And I think that this is one of the things that kind of tricks people into feeling like they're going to have this little cheaty, situation, because they think that that's the thing that's going to kind of fix it. They're like, oh, just one time. So they're going to do that. I think people aren't prepared for their romantic relationship that went from like to like, hey, do you want to watch season 3 of Criminal Minds?
Ball removal begin.
Like they're just like literally not prepared. And you just sit there watching Criminal Minds eating. So I want to see what their closing thoughts are, because I'm curious and I'm going to have thoughts on the podcast as a whole. Let's go.
Yeah, neither is 100%. It's like, I think you'll feel so much more fulfilled the other way. And just people do really glorify marrying for money. If you are really debating this, like really think about all the negatives that entails as well.
Yes, it's correct. You would be doing that. Marry for money. Move on.
Like to give us the name Loveline. We'll host it. Well, I don't know what show it was on. Maybe like MTV or something. Can you imagine MTV giving like Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew like a show about sex and dating? I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Like Dr. Drew makes sense, but like Adam Carolla
and like just men almost. I'm like, this is for the girls.
I don't like Adam
Carolla. Just me being a straight man hater, but
I am a straight man hater. Except for Dr. I do like it, but everyone else can go themselves.
Moses and McCullough can live. You know,
yeah. But everyone else not.
This is so fucking fun. I can't wait for the future of all of these voice memos. Guys, please call us and
Call us
like
at this number.
Yes, and like tell us anything crazy. Even as these are playing, I'm like, even on other stuff, like if you're fighting with your mom or your best friend does something crazy, I'm down for all of it.
Yeah, we want to know good, bad, and you're so worthy and you're so deserving of love.
And we love you guys so much.
We love you. Go to Patreon. On Fridays, we'll be posting the explicit 18+, patreon.com/notloveline. And we're going to go film that right now. So if you guys want more, we'll give you more.
I am so excited. Yay! Oh my God, we're going to talk about it all. And yeah,
wow, save it for Patreon. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
That was the first episode of their podcast. What are my first and final thoughts on this podcast? I actually think the energy between the two of them is amazing. They have really good energy. They balance each other well and they bounce off of each other well. If I was Brooke, not Brick, I would just be like beside myself. See, I was expecting to pull my hair out, but that was entertaining. It was. Like, they have such good energy together. And the thing is, Trisha has a way of having really good energy with most people that she's involved with because she just has like all of this zazz. She has a lot of zazz. I think that that's one of the reasons why she gets away with all the things that she gets away with, because she's just like stinking adorable and she has a lot of zazz. So you just kind of try to overlook all the awful things that she's done because it's like hard. It's so hard. I know, my problematic fave. You have yours and I don't judge you. This is a judgment-free zone. Thank you. But I think that the podcast is really good. I think it's going to be very successful. I think that they're actually, dare I say it, giving good information and good advice. And now I have to sit with that. Like, I have to sit with the reality that they are giving actual good advice. I fear that 2025 is going to be a really weird year for a lot of us, but I do think that this is a good move for them. I think it was a good move for Trish to cancel the whole thing with Jeffree Star. I think that this is going to be a good move for them. If I was Brooke, not Brick, I would look out. Because you're like literally a piece of furniture, in my opinion, on the podcast. Did you see how this like worked out between the two of them? Like bam, bam, beep, bam, boom, bing, bing, bam, bing, bing, and they're like laughing, ha ha ha, and it's like a give and a take and a bounce and a move. As someone who previously didn't care for either of them, I'm impressed. I really am impressed because I don't really like Tana, but I root for her to do better, if that makes sense. And I don't, like, my thing is I don't have a lot of issues with Trisha Paytas because, again, I wasn't there for all of the shit that she did. I'm sorry. I know people will be like, that's not an excuse. You know what? Suck my... Never mind. I'm not going to say that because we're on YouTube, but like, suck my left tit. No, don't. That's not an invitation. Anyways, that is it. That is all. This has been me, Audra, the Messiah of Nonsense. If you have any videos or whatnot that you think that I would be interested in and reacting to, let me know. You can try to send it to my IG DMs, which I hardly ever check. So just at me in a comment section. Anyway, if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up if you feel like it. If you didn't, you don't have to. You can subscribe if you want to. It makes me slightly uncomfortable, but I thank you for doing so. Until next time, I am so pretty, and so are you. Bye. I feel like this is a symbol for celibacy, and you have to open and close it. It's closed.
We always say, Trisha, the best bussy is celibacy.